Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a meeting of the Winthrop Board of Assessment Review on Tuesday, August the 4th. We are meeting via Zoom, and it looks like all three of our members are here. And so anyway, I'm going to ask each of you, because we're all sort of new to one another to some extent, I'm going to ask you to just do a brief introduction of yourself for your fellow board members. And ladies first, Amanda. So we'll begin with you.
Hi. I don't think I've met Mark or Dan in person. Sorry, guys. Let's see. I'm born and raised in Fairfield, so I'm a Mainer. Went to Bates, went to Cornell, practiced at Bernstein Sure, worked at MMA, have my own practice now, just me. Um, I represent municipalities. That's what I've done since 2004. I do a little bit of work for DECD and KV Cog, but yeah, I'm a municipal law attorney. My husband and I have lived in Winthrop since 2008, and we have three Belgian Malinois for our current roster of children.
Very good. So now we'll go in alphabetical order. So Mark, why don't you go next?
Yes, hi, I'm Mark Corsi. Currently, I'm a staff attorney at the Maine Municipal Association. I've only been here since June. Prior to that, I was real estate counsel at Maine DOT, and then for 3 years. And then prior to that, I was in private practice in the Mid Coast, partnered a small firm there. Started out there as a litigator, primarily family law and criminal law, and then as the firm's needs changed, I became primarily a transactional lawyer, mostly a real estate attorney. And I live, of course, in Winthrop with my wife, who's on the board of the library trustees. And we have a cat, and I have two adult children, and her, her daughter, who lives some of the time with us.
Excellent. So Dan, why don't you say a little something about yourself as well, please?
Sure. Thank you very much. And I apologize for my camera not working, but I have about 40 plus years in real estate as an appraiser, as a tax assessor for Gardner. And I really started out years ago working for the Bureau of Taxation as one of their field appraisers. So my whole history is just centered around this type of thing. And actually, I know Mark. We've worked together in different situations with Maine Department of Transportation. Sorry, I don't know Amanda, but nice to meet her.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised we haven't,
and,
but yeah, nice to meet you.
and Anthony, you and I have talked, but I've never seen you, and that's really nice too. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I've lived on Welch's Point in East Winthrop for 40 something years, which has been fantastic. Everybody on the point is great. And I have one son and a wonderful wife who happens to be outside right at the moment. And that's about all there is. I'm retired, so if I forget something, it's a senior moment, I guess. But anyway, so thank you.
Thanks, Dan. So just a brief introduction of myself. I've been the town manager in Winthrop for a little more than 3 years now. And prior to that, I was the town manager in Belgrade. We moved to Maine in 2019 from Texas, and we absolutely love it here. So, and I happen to serve on the Board of Assessment Review in Belgrade. I've served in that capacity for, I think, 3 or 4 years now. And we've yet to have a case that we've had to hear. So it's the easiest public service I've ever rendered. And I am really thankful that we have like an amazing amount of credentials among the three of you when it comes to this very topic. So we're glad to have you. So now that we've done our introductions, the next item of business is to consider consideration of nominations for a Board of Assessment Review chair. So we need someone who is actually going to run the meetings and sort of serve as the point person during the hearing that we'll be having sometime in the coming weeks. Typically, we take nominations, but if someone wants to volunteer I don't know that anyone else is going to fight anyone for the position, but if anyone's willing to serve, we need someone to chair this committee.
I could just offer to the gentleman to let them know that I have far less than a burning desire to chair this. I know we're being recorded and I'm not very private about this, but I'm dealing with a breast cancer recurrence right now. And so I'm already really, really tired. It's gonna get worse. So I would prefer to not have to do any heavy lifting. If one of you guys could step up.
I'm willing to do it if Dan doesn't want.
I have served as the chair in the past. That was when I was active. I've been retired now for going on 9 or 10 years, and I think somebody with a fresh mind would be better.
So I don't know if I can provide that.
Well, it sounds like you're better off than the two of us.
But you know, as I say, I'll be a great board member, but I'd prefer not to do it at this time. And the last time that I did it, it was right in the beginning of a revaluation, and it wasn't contentious as it could be. And I've seen that, happen. But given that I've been retired for a lot of years, I think Mark would be better at it than I would.
So Dan, may I assume that's a motion to nominate Mark to serve as the board chair?
That sounds right.
Okay.
Second.
All right, and Amanda second. So any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Or Danny, I can't see you. Any opposed? Okay, so Mark, congratulations. You're the board chair.
Oh,
So
thanks.
yeah. So now I'm actually going to turn this over to you to maybe launch a discussion on the procedure for a poverty abatement for a hearing for a poverty abatement appeal.
Right. Yeah, I'm assuming you want me to just start or Anthony? Or?
Yeah, and I guess it would be helpful if any of you have ever been involved in this particular sort of hearing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think it's the attorneys here can correct me, but is it a de novo hearing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe and Dan may know what this is as well, but maybe a brief overview of what a de novo hearing is. From one of our legal counselors.
Go ahead, Mark, if you're comfortable.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, in general, what we're talking about here is we look at all the evidence fresh from the start, and we don't necessarily look at. We can look at the same evidence, but we look at it with a fresh face, and we don't give deference to the previous judgments of the previous body. So.
Yep.
In a nutshell, we're starting over, but obviously we can, on a hearing of this scale, we're not going to reinvent the wheel and try to reintroduce every piece of evidence. I don't think there was much in the way of testimony. I pretty much just looked at the names. I didn't want to prejudge anything, so I pretty much just looked at the names, making sure I didn't have any conflicts, but I didn't go deeply into the matter itself. So.
Yeah. And so I did, you will recall, I did previously email to each of you the packet of information regarding this case. I also have hard copies of those packets sitting on my desk in the town office. So if anyone wants to pick that up in advance of the hearing, I'm happy to do so. So am I correct? My understanding is this is almost sort of like a mini trial where one side will sort of make their case, present their evidence, and make their case. In doing so, so let's say the appellant makes his case first. And in doing so, does the town, represented by me in this case, will we have the opportunity to ask questions of the appellant? Or does everyone just simply state their case and you guys decide based upon that?
Well, I'm concerned. My first concern is: has there ever been any rules, regulations, or procedures adopted?
Mark, I'm so sorry. I'm having a tiny bit of a hard time hearing everything that you're saying.
Yeah, same here.
New camera, new desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe Mark, if you lean in a bit to it, it might
Yeah,
help.
I apologize. I was trying to avoid the big head look, but we'll go there.
Yeah, I
anyway.
still can't. That great.
Is that better or no?
Not really, honestly. Not for me. I'm sorry. I mean, I can. I mean, I don't know.
Let me just see if there's any microphone settings
Yeah, I
that I
don't.
have to adjust.
Like I tried turning it way up, but it didn't really help.
Yeah, I'm going to try to. Well, I can't yell, but
Well, you could, but I mean, I know
well,
that it
yeah,
would
but I
be
think that
frowned
would
upon.
wear fairly quickly. Let me just see if I can find. This is again fairly new computer, so I'm just trying to see if there's any microphone settings.
Oh, that's right. You've got you. They. Yeah, I forget. I forget.
But I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just reminiscing about IT.
Let me do something
That's
here.
a little better.
No, no, let me just do. Let me just see if I can just get the laptops camera to work.
And actually, I'm just gonna. So Anthony, I mean, we'll see. Mark's welcome to offer his own take on that, but I mean, my sense or my I have to remember I'm not the town attorney here, but my direction would be that, for example, Anthony, I wouldn't want you, directly asking questions of
Yes, that's correct.
I would ask that they direct questions to the chair, but
Hmm.
that would be that would
That has been my history too. When I
Good.
was the chair, each side would give their opinions or evidence, so be it, and then direct the questions to the chair.
yeah, yep.
That's how I've always seen it handled.
Yeah, and I'm just jumping in because Mark, I think, is fiddling with his settings, and I tend to just be. And Dan, you jump in as well. But yeah, so I mean, sort of, he probably through his counsel would have his opportunity to present his side of the story, if you will, and then we might ask some questions, and then we would perhaps turn to you, Anthony, and ask, did you need any questions or clarifications? You would direct that to us. We would direct that to him. Once us three board members felt like we were comfortable that we'd heard what he or his attorney had to say and we gleaned all the information that we could, then we would ask for you folks to respond, share your side of the story, if you will, your reasoning. Dan or Mark, if you want to jump in and offer any corrections or.
That is how
Just
I've
for
seen
volume.
it in the past, but
Yeah.
and not only in this type of hearing, but in other types of hearings that I've been involved in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've in the however many years, 22, whatever, I don't know, that I've been practicing. I've certainly been handled plenty of board of assessment review matters. It's just I've always been the town attorney on them. So yeah.
Can you hear me?
I think that's better for me.
Is that better? I mean, that's pretty much
Well,
what
that
I
is
got.
better.
I'm going right to the computer now for the
Oh,
audio.
great, thanks. I think
So
that
I'll work on that for future meetings. But it was the first, literally, I just got this camera this morning, so I was all excited that it was going to work great.
Oh no. I'll have
So-
you work with Brian.
So I agree with everything everyone said. I do think Anthony's being an active participant in the especially in the cross-examination is not a good idea.
Okay. It sounds a little bit like how you would handle town meeting. Everything goes through the moderator. So I'm happy to direct any questions that the town may have to the chair of the board, and then you guys can decide whether or not it's a relevant question to pose to the appellant.
Yeah, I want to back up a second though to my original question which is, are there any rules or regulations or anything that have been ever been put in place for this board in the past?
Oh, see, I didn't even hear that question, so I'm glad we
Yeah.
asked you to speak.
Nothing that I'm aware of. So in the 3 years that I've served as town manager, Mark, we have not had any board of assessment review meetings or cases to hear. Dan, you may have some insight as to when the last such meeting was held and whether there were rules and regulations in place at that time.
The last meetings that I recall stem back when there was the last revaluation, and
which was 2007.
Exactly. So my thinking is, it was a long time ago, but I don't recall any rules or regulations, although we did follow, normal protocol, like some of which we've just discussed. And I think if it's handled that way, but I don't know of any official guidelines. I know you've sent out some pamphlets and some things about procedure, but there's nothing that I'm aware of that, comes into this. I will admit that I've never been involved in a case like this, where somebody's seeking an abatement because of poverty. That's totally different to me. I don't think it happens very frequently, at least not in our area. But I don't know of any rules or special rules or regulations. No.
Well, in the packet that you distributed, with the documents you distributed to us, Anthony, for this meeting, I believe it was, you did include a reference to the appendix. Appendix 5 of the assessment manual does have some model guidelines for procedures, including one for the town of Raymond that just sort of has a numbered list of what they're going through. I'm not sure how the rest would like to proceed, but it would seem to me that at the bare minimum, we should agree on our order of procedure and how we're going to do things. And I don't say we have to do it at this meeting. Maybe unfortunately we have to have another quick meeting to decide that, or we decide, I don't know, because I don't want us to have, the equivalent of an executive session without, without it being for a proper reason. So,
Of course.
but
Right.
yeah.
Can't make any. Well, but let's think.
Yeah, like right now we're in a public meeting. This was announced publicly. It's
Right. So you can see, gosh, I know you guys don't know me, but I'm struggling. I'm sorry. Things are moving so much more slowly through my brain.
Right.
Right. I mean, we're in an open meeting. We're not talking about the substance of the matter. We're just talking about how we want to. I'd be comfortable with us making a decision about the procedure we want to use if you guys would be comfortable. And
sure. And I just have the advantage of having it on a piece of paper in front of me, and I'm not sure if you folks have looked at it.
And so I can read it to you, and I can pull it up real quick. But I can assure you, if it's in MMA's manual, I'm good with it. And
okay. Well, the one that stuck out at me was the town of Raymond's. Now, the issue, of course, too, is, as Dan rightly points out, this is not a really much evaluation question. Is whether or not this person will be entitled to an abatement based on their financial condition. So, I mean, but if you look at what the guidelines show for a board procedure, it envisions the assessor making their case, and then the applicant making their case, and so forth. What to me that begs the question is, I'm not so sure, and this is obviously, I'm not the town's attorney, but I'm not so sure Anthony can sit on both sides of the street for this, in the sense of being our helper and advisor, but also presenting the case. And also, I would imagine, and the boards often ask Anthony to draft findings, and then if it's, whereas I guess sometimes in court the winning side is asked to draft findings by the court. It's a little different here. So I don't know. I've never seen one of these either. I've seen other, as Dan knows, other commission type hearings or reviews of DOT decisions and stuff. But so I don't know. I don't know how we want to handle this.
I think that the situation, just because of the nature of the type of abatement request, to me, it would make more sense to hear the case from the man asking for the abatement. Mm-hmm. And then that would give cause to the town. It would be awkward, I think, for the town to start first.
I agree.
Because we really don't know what the case is.
Right.
To me, that would be the procedure. That's unlike other hearings that I've been involved with. I know Mark and I have been involved in state claims cases, and usually the state of Maine begins first and then the property owner second. But I think it would be wise to reverse that.
I agree.
just because otherwise we don't really know what the case is. It's not a property valuation situation, and
Well,
that would be my take on it.
I agree. May I just ask something of Mark and Dan? Actually, I think the answer is no. I'll ask it this way. Do you intend to review the materials that Anthony provided prior to the meeting?
I do.
Yes, I think that's important.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure I understood your process because I've been through them just because I had a minute to be able to do so. But okay, just wanted to make sure we
Well, you bring up a good question, Amanda, because some of the information that the appellant is going to be giving may not be inclusive of all of the stuff in our packet.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and that's evidence that we have that hasn't been formally introduced. We sort of have the leg up on what the case here. So I don't know, thinking about it, maybe that's not a wise thing. I don't know.
What
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
And Mark, I'll share my perspective. And I of course want to hear yours. And again, I have a hard time splitting my brain between I'm the town attorney, which obviously I'm not Winthrop's attorney, versus I'm a BAR member. But I think either way, like if I'm your attorney, I want you showing up having read whatever has been provided to you. And if I'm on the bar, which I am, I want to show up having read what's been provided to me, because it's always, I find, an awkward, embarrassing, poor use of time. And I get so frustrated with my board members when they haven't prepared for a meeting. So I think to the extent we can review background information, for me personally, I think that's helpful. And I can't read and digest while people are staring at me anyway, necessarily. But Mark, what's your thought there?
Oh, no, I definitely think we should be, I think we need, there's this extensive amount of written material that from what I saw from the page count.
Yeah.
And we need to know what's in there
Yeah.
to be able to ask follow-up questions or whatever we need to do, and also to understand what's going to be presented. And I do agree. I think the individual needs to go first. They're represented by counsel. They'll be able to present hopefully a good summary and a good explanation of their case. I think we could do something to the effect of, well, the other side can ask questions, we can ask questions until we're sure we understand their viewpoint, and then the other side would present their reasoning why this shouldn't happen, if that's what the other side wants to do. That's the interesting part about it with the de novo hearing, obviously. What is the standard we're going to go by as far as...
There will be counsel representing the other side?
There will be.
There will be, okay. So my guess is probably everything that's in the packet will be presented, because that's where it got generated from, correct? From counsel?
Partly. So some of it is information that Pine Tree Legal provided to the town council when the town council was considering this case. And part of it is content that the staff produced. And of course you have in your background the written decision from the town council. So to your point, I mean, it's not terribly complicated, and I don't think that the town's position is terribly complicated, but it would also not surprise me if Pine Tree Legal came and presented some additional information to sort of clarify what their position is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Does that packet include a position, or a statement of position from the town, or any type of statement?
It does not. It does. I mean, other than the written decision.
The finding of the town.
Yes.
Case. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we should talk a little bit about to me, I don't think I'm going to be ready to propose a procedural posture, or how we're going to like an agenda, for lack of a better word, like the order things are going to go and everything at this meeting. I would like us to think about it, and then maybe I know I don't want to have a lot of meetings here, but another brief discussion
You want me
regarding.
to screen share the Raymond document?
Well,
Or is
yes,
that just
but
not how you, is that, I'm just getting to know you, obviously, is that not how, that feels too rushed? I don't, because you don't need to
yeah,
feel,
well,
I just,
I think I need, I mean, for me, I need to wrap my
Mhm.
brain around a little bit about what we're trying to accomplish, what our standards of review, burden
gotcha,
of proof, all those things are going to be,
gotcha.
so that we can put the things in we need and not have the things we don't, and we have a good process that's fair. And I
Sure.
also don't, from my experience with Dan on the him being on the Claims Commission and me presenting before the Claims Commission, it would be my goal, and I hope this is everyone's goal, that this is I mean, luckily our person is represented by counsel, but I would like this to be a friendly process and not an overly legalese process.
Oh,
So in other words,
absolutely.
it's accessible,
Absolutely.
because this will happen again in the future, and if we can maybe set a precedent or whatever of having a fair and easy to use process, because someone may come without counsel, and then
Yeah.
we don't want to make it so intimidating that they feel like they're being, it's a
I
foregone
think
conclusion.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
And looking at the process we have in the
Yeah.
town of Raymond, which is, I think, as you said, it's MMA, and I'm sure it's very good.
Yeah.
I hope it is, since I work for them. But that it looks at a glance, glancing at that it has a lot of stuff in it that we
Yeah, it's
probably
8
don't
pages.
need.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, I'd like to
Gotcha. Yeah. I
get
think
it maybe to 2 pages of, and then everyone's on the same page. Everyone knows what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what we're looking for in the evidence, what's relevant, what's not relevant, all that good stuff.
I think that's
And
great.
I don't want to do that, in the first 10 minutes here. And at the same time, I also know we have some people waiting to do on this, and we want to get this done. So I guess that's where I'm feeling right now, and that's how the others feel.
No, I can respect that 100%. I appreciate that.
Okay.
And just so you folks know, this is not an adversarial situation. The appellant in this case, all of our interactions with him have been quite pleasant. Same with the attorney from Pine Tree Legal, who I know, and we get along just fine. And so we just have a difference of opinion in this one matter. And so it's not adversarial at all.
Right, and that's good information. And I do think sometimes if you have the process can create an adversarial situation if it is too cumbersome and it's too I mean, if the process can set people up to end up wanting to oppose each other when they're just trying to get a fair hearing and make sure that confirm that the decision that was made before is correct instead of, so that's all I'm concerned about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what we can definitely do is give you folks whatever appropriate amount of time that you think that you may need in order to review the procedures from the town of Raymond. And if you wanted to, we could schedule another, short meeting to take those up and consider those if you want to adopt those or some procedures prior to the hearing. But I also think it's important, like today, that we come up with what that timeline is. Like when are we going to adopt those procedures, and then when are we going to actually have the hearing? Because
yeah, absolutely. This is I think it's fair. I'm willing to take a stab at drafting what I and I have to look at the rules wise, but I believe I can distribute those in a way that they're publicly accessible if we have to, but also so that we can look at them. So we're not looking at going to the meeting without having seen them and trying to decide if they're good or not. Well, people are looking at us. I think that's a very good point, Amanda, that, nothing worse than having a judge stare at you while you're trying to read something that was just handed to you.
Oh, I stay out of the courtroom, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So I would like to target for next week for that process, maybe. Is that too long a time frame, Anthony, as far as that goes?
Oh, no. I think that's wholly appropriate. So, in fact, if you wanted to, so we met on Tuesday at noon. If you folks want to do the same bat time and same bat channel, as they say, we can certainly accommodate that.
Yeah,
So
let me
you're
just
saying
look at
do
my-
this at 11? August
Oh, wait a
11th?
second. Wait a second. Check that. My wife has her post-op appointment on that day. So we're going to be down in Portland. So I'm not available that day. My schedule on the 10th is open except for the 9 o'clock hour.
I'm not around. I'm away. I'm available.
Are you away all week, Dan?
Yes. Yeah, I'll be gone.
I might be
Do
able
the
to put
12th.
something together. Oh boy, I don't want to. I'm really thinking this is going to have to be on a weekend project. So I was just thinking Friday, but how about the first part of the following week? Like, well, I can. The 17th is tough because that was the doctor's appointment I mentioned. I could do it earlier on the 17th, or I could do it on the 18th if that works for people.
17th is good here.
The morning of the 17th, I'm playing at the Alphon Center.
Wow.
Well, I mean, playing blood draw, oncologist, kill me now is what I really.
Oh, would the 18th work for everyone?
Yeah, the 18th is open.
All right. Well, I guess what doesn't work for me.
See, this is
I'm doing a presentation right at lunchtime, so I could do the Wednesday the 19th.
what time on the 17th do people become available?
I can do
I'm
anything in the
available
afternoon on the 17th.
all day.
Okay,
day.
Mark, the 17th for you?
Yeah, for me it would have to be if we're doing Zoom, so I would probably be able to do 2:30 or later.
Anthony?
Yep, fine here.
My schedule's wide open on the 17th. So whatever works for you folks.
Why don't we do like 3 o'clock on the 17th?
Perfect.
Okay. And then can we set the meeting for the time now while we all obviously have very busy schedules for the actual hearing?
I think that's an excellent idea. Of course, Anthony will have to circle back to the attorney, but let's try to maybe come up
Yeah,
with
we'll at least find a block of time.
right.
Could we do it the following week, the week of the 24th?
Yeah, I would be amenable. And for me, I mean, the problem for me with meetings is since we don't know how long these are going to go, if we put it in the morning and it goes all day, my employer is not really happy with that. They love that I'm volunteering and helping out, but at the same time, we have a lot of people in other towns are responsible too. And so for me, 2 o'clock or later, ideally 3 o'clock or later, any day that week would work.
So let's see, we're talking the week of the 24th.
Yes.
May I ask a clarifying question? Do we intend that hearing for everyone to be in person, or are we going to have a Zoom component to it, or what's your pleasure there? Or what's appropriate as well, I guess I should ask.
We're going to be in that room, right, Mark?
Yeah, I don't think I am not a big fan of Zoom especially for a testimonial hearing. I don't think it works. I mean, like the problem I just had.
Well, it's just not fair I think you got to be in a room together.
Yeah, everyone have to be on Zoom, and I don't like that. And then, or everybody in person. It can't. The hybrid meeting for a hearing is not something. Plus, as I can see myself in the town of Winthrop screen, the giant head on the screen just alone makes me.
I mean, the
I apologize to the person in that room who has to look.
And I'm just raising the question just so we're all on the same page about. Okay, we're.
No. I understand, but I think in my experience, it will work much better if we're all in the room. We're all residents of the town of Winthrop. There's a town of except for everyone's you're going to be local, except for perhaps the attorney from Pine Tree Legal, but that's what they do. So
yeah, okay. So if you folk like my schedule that week,
Monday and Wednesday are out if we're looking at the afternoon.
Yeah, my schedule is wide open that week. So whatever works for you folks, I will make myself available.
Mark, you must have your phone schedule for all of August. Phones, right? That's what they still call it. Like,
I can switch those around.
cool.
Yeah, so I'm not going to worry about that.
Gotcha.
I can trade. It'll cost me something, but not too
Oh,
much.
I know. Yeah, I know it, right?
But yeah, so you said
Monday
Amanda,
and
you can't do
Wednesday
Monday,
afternoon.
Wednesday. So we're
Both
looking at
those.
Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday
Yep.
afternoon. Ideally for me, 3 o'clock later, but I will, if necessary, make it as early as I can make it early as 2.
What Wednesday's
Um,
perfect for me.
Wednesday,
26th.
Wednesday afternoon, I'm surgical consultation.
Right.
No Monday, no Wednesday.
Monday's good too.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, Dan. I don't think you're hearing her. She said she's not available neither on Monday nor on Wednesday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Tuesday, Thursday, or
The
Friday, Dan.
27th is fine. Yeah. 27th is best.
That's the
I can do
Thursday.
Friday too, but 27th works better.
Should we try to hold 27 and 28 while Anthony checks with the other side?
Yes.
Beautiful. Say 3 o'clock, since that will make Mark's people less.
Yeah, that way we can go as long as we need to go. But I
Right,
mean, not that I want to, but I mean, I think this could easily take 2 hours.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just the first time we're doing it, we're going to be a little.
And I think too, this poverty abatement with this, I think that what we use and how we approach this could look different from how we wrestle with reval issues.
Oh, absolutely. It's completely different kind of
Oh,
testimony too. I
right,
mean,
but-
yeah.
But one step at a
Absolutely.
time. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So, so when you have your hearing on either the 27th or 28th, knock on wood, would you anticipate? How would you anticipate rendering a decision? Like, would you take the testimony under advisement and then come up? Okay. And so,
we're not going to rule in front of them. That we don't do. We're not going to do that.
Okay. And then who will be responsible for doing the draft decision? Will that be one of you, or will you be looking to staff to do that?
No, I think having the staff do it makes me queasy.
Okay.
So we'll decide amongst ourselves who to do it, I think. And
Okay.
I don't know, Amanda or Dan, do you feel that way?
I'm going to tell you guys, right. I mean, I will be taking on nothing extra just because my life is in extraordinary circumstances right now. I will review a draft. I won't write. And this is
right. But I mean, as far as do you have the same reaction?
It doesn't make me queasy, honestly, because we're going to know what we wanted to say. And it's always, for me, it's different from town to town, client to client, who takes a stab at a draft. Because I do agree we're exceptional board members. I know we can produce a good document, but usually when I would, as town attorney, if I rely on my board, I get back something that's not very good and I have to spend a ton of time on it. So, I mean, if we were going to rely on staff to kind of capture I don't even know that we could. I think it's a challenging situation. I don't know. Dan, what do you think?
Well, I was just trying to recall, because it was years ago, but when I was a tax assessor, I almost think there was a form that when there was a formal request for an abatement, that the assessor had a form to either approve or deny. Now, I might be wrong on that, but somewhere in my brain says that's the case. We might want to check on that to see if there's something there.
So I think that's in a different part of the process potentially, right? So because we're gonna need to spell out all of our reasons for what we decide.
You can add to it. You can add to it, obviously, but I think there might be some formal approach that we need to take.
Well, I mean,
there are sample formula, in that appendix in the
Yeah, I mean, I have
assessment.
template decisions. It's just a matter of who's going to take the time to just capture what we talked about and put it down. And I'm just, unfortunately, that can't be me.
Well, I think this, I can think about, I mean, I don't really have a problem with doing it. I mean, for me, that can I do it in a timely manner? It's going to be more of the concern
Mhm.
for me. Whereas if Anthony has people with bandwidth who could at least do the rough draft, maybe that's, I don't know.
I
But-
think that's
but
probably
I-
what we need to be looking at is that Anthony
Yeah.
or staff roughs out what they heard and then passes it to us to kind of make it our own. Anthony, does that sound? I mean, how do
Yes,
you?
I'm
Yeah.
yes, I'm happy to do that. That's what happened with the town council's initial decision was obviously I sat in on their discussions and the MMA did provide a template form for that, and so I sort of filled in the blanks with what their thoughts were. And so I'm happy to do that for you. And in doing so, let me just say, I take no ownership of it. So if you guys say, oh, this is awful and we're going to do something completely different, that's not going to bother me one whit. And so you don't have to worry about hurting my feelings. I have to have feelings first before you can hurt them. And
Right on. I feel that.
I'm beyond that. I'm beyond that now. I'm happy to serve you guys in whatever ways that suits you best.
Great, thank you.
And in this instance, I mean, to your point, Mark, earlier, yeah, it is interesting because I looked for as much information as I could about an appeal of a poverty abatement for a board of assessment review, and most of the board's work, as you know, revolves around assessments. And so there was very little information about this. And so I'll look again, but my initial thinking is we'll probably simply use like the same sort of template that we did for the initial written decision by the council and just use that as the form for the Board of Assessments decision.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have any other business right now. Does anyone else can think of anything? Is there something else? You were thinking about this probably more than I was. So
No. So we just to recap. Let me look back here. We will have another meeting to consider procedures at 3 p.m. on the 17th, Monday the 17th. And then we will have the hearing at 3 p.m. either on August the 27th or 28th. And as soon as this meeting is over with, I will reach out to Pine Tree Legal.
okay. The only thing I can think of is since there are two dates right next to each other, should we talk about a backup date beyond that, just to be so because I know it was difficult scheduling meetings through the email process. I don't know how the group feels about that.
I think that's a smart idea because that Jillian, I think her name is, a PTLA attorney. She could be out that week. Who knows, right? I think.
Right.
What if we look at right after Labor Day, something like that? Do you think that?
Yeah. So what is that?
So that's the 7th.
So Labor Day's the 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, my availability, the same kind of caveat, but is wide open on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of that week. Friday, we have the MMA picnic that I have to go to.
A picnic?
Yeah.
That's new.
It'll rain, but
right now I don't have anything scheduled. So quick jump on there before the hospital gets a hold of me.
Dan, what about you? The 8th?
I'm wide open. The 31st was the last day of August, but then the rest of the week I'm wide open.
Well, now, Dan, we're looking at the week. Yeah, we're looking at the September 8th, 9th, or 10th.
Okay, hang on. I would think the 9th works best for me. I have something going on all the other days.
All right, so we'll hold the 9th while Anthony checks in with PTLA.
Right.
So is the preference? Do you want me to offer all three votes to all three dates to them, or do you want me to initially say the 27th or 28th and see what they say, and if they say we can't do that, then offer the 9th? or do you care?
I think do the first two, and then because I think we'd
Okay.
rather do it sooner rather than later, quite frankly.
Okay. All right.
And then while I've got you, Anthony, if you could run my work email is probably better. I'm the volume of email. If you can just make sure I think you send things to my work email while I'm thinking of it.
Yeah, ever since you told me, Mark, I've been using your Gmail account.
Yeah, so let's switch back because I find I think it's gonna be I'm gonna handle most of these things at work, at least the initial part. So
Okay.
just M4C at MEUN.org, that one, if you would.
Gotcha. Will
Sorry,
do.
and if it doesn't, I'll just send it back that way and remind it to you, but that's okay.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we just need a motion to adjourn now.
Very good.
So moved.
Okay.
All in favor? I guess it's supposed to be seconded, but whatever.
I vote.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
We will.
Very good. Thank you.
We'll see you again on the 17th.
Thank you, guys.
Very
Thank
good.
you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye.
Bye bye.